everyone, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have kind of an update about the sweater knitting that I'm doing, and I went to the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival, so I want to show you everything that I got there. But first of all, let's just dive into works in progress. I don't have any finished objects or FOs to show you, but I am really close on finishing my May sweater. Let me show you. So I am finished with the body completely, and I am down to knitting the sleeves. I should be finished. Here we go. Here it is. And I have to pick up the neck, but you see there's the body. It's all finished. And I am now working on the first sleeve. I'm about halfway finished. I should finish that today. And then I'll, of course, have to pick up and start on the other sleeve. This is such an easy knit, you all. I really enjoy it. It's one of those that you don't really have to think about, which makes it, for me, great knitting to just stick in this bag and take with me. The only thing that I do have to say about it, and it's not anything to do with the pattern or the sweater, is that it's May here, the end of May, and because this is my May sweater, and it is very hot having this much wool on your lap in May. But it is what it is. So I should hopefully have this finished by the end of May, which is in just a couple of days because it's Memorial Day weekend here. And I hope you all are doing something fun for that. Me, I'm working and knitting, so both fun things. But then I will be able to move on to my June sweater. Now I've already shared with you the yarn that I'm going to use, and I don't know about you, but I like to have multiple things on the needles. So when I get a little bit tired or bored with one thing, I can hop over to the other and then work on it a little bit and regain my knitting mojo and just, you know, enjoy what I'm doing. So I have already started my June sweater. It is knit in pieces. This is the back that I've already started on. So it should be a pretty simple knit. Really, the interest in this one is the color changes. It's basically just stockinette stitch. It is knit flat, and then you seam the pieces together. So I'm starting on the back. I hope to finish the back hopefully this week, end of this week, or halfway through next week, and then I'll be able to start on the front pieces. But it's a pretty simple knit also, and I'm enjoying it too. It's easier to carry around than the sweater that I'm working on now because it is knit flat and knit in pieces, so I can just have the piece that I'm working on now in my bag and I can carry it around. So for example, here is my little bag for the kimono sweater from DHG shop. Remember, it's an Italian pattern. It's from DHG, and I will try to link everything in the show notes below so that you can get these patterns if you'd like to. And this is the bag for my sweater. Of course, I have a few other things in here, but it's a lot bulkier to carry around with you, as I'm sure you all are aware if you're knitters. So those are the two things that I'm really working on. I have started swatching for my July sweater, and I will be using this yarn from Quince & Company. It is wonderfully soft. I love this pale pink color. It's just so nice. I think it'll be beautiful in the fall and in the winter to put a nice crisp white tank or something underneath it, or wear it on its own with jeans. I think it'll be beautiful. And let me show you what I've got swatched up so far. I've got the swatch in my sweater bag here. Yeah. I am starting to swatch for my July sweater. And I know it's May now and I'm swatching for July, but this is how you have to do it if you want to keep up the momentum of doing one sweater a month. I realize that this is a pretty big goal to do one sweater a month until the end of the year, but I'm enjoying it. And if I kind of leapfrog like this, then it keeps my interest because I'm always looking forward to the next thing. So it helps me push through the parts of the project where I might be getting tired of a certain pattern, or I might be tempted to put it down because I know I've already started on the next one and it's just waiting for me on the needles. Also, I am choosing relatively simple patterns just because if I want to get a sweater a month finished, I cannot do a lot of intricate lace or cable work or anything like that. I will probably build up to that later in the year. That's my goal anyway. But for now, I'm going to start simple and make sure that I can just stay on track of actually finishing one sweater every month. So anyway, I am starting to swatch. Just going to do a regular stockinette swatch here because I think that I am going to try to knit the Weekender out of this Quince & Company yarn. I'm sure you all have heard about the Weekender. Everyone seems to be knitting it right now, so I thought I'd jump on that bandwagon. It looks like a simple, boxy, cozy sweater, and I think that this yarn would knit up beautifully for that. So that is what's on the needles right now. I still have the shawl that I was working on before that I showed you. I have not done a single thing on it since the last time I showed you. But I might pick it up when I want something a little more interesting to work on, a little more complicated, because it's not complicated at all. It's really just stockinette and then this lace section at the end. Dogs again. Okay, I think she's finished barking. We might have a lot of interruptions like that. It is the time of year when a lot of the schools are out around here, and so kids are running back and forth in front of our house, and every time someone passes the front of our house, the dogs feel like they have to bark and let me know that someone is in our front yard. So, or not even in our front yard, just passing by on the sidewalk. They're like my alarm system. But anyway, the shawl I have not touched because I'm focused on sweaters right now. And if I get distracted by working on this shawl, then I won't finish my sweaters. But I do still want to pick it up and work on it every once in a while because I can't imagine that I'm just going to do sweaters this year because I went to the Sheep and Fiber Festival in Kentucky, which is in Lexington, yearly in Lexington, and I try and go every year. And I got a whole lot of yarn, you all. I didn't really pick up any spinning fibers because I'm so focused on knitting right now. And sometimes that makes me feel a little anxious or a little stressed because I feel like I have to be doing it all right now. All of the crafts, all of the time. I have to be spending an equal amount on each of them. So I was listening to the Sweet Georgia Yarns YouTube podcast, and Felicia was talking about seasons of crafting, meaning that you're focusing during certain times of the year, not necessarily following the seasons like spring, summer, and fall, but seasons of time, that you focus on one particular craft. Say, for example, right now I'm in a season of knitting. So after that, I might move on to a season of spinning or dyeing or weaving or felting, but that it's okay to sort of do a deep dive into one aspect of whatever craft you're involved in right then. And it gives you a little bit of a permission to really enjoy where you are right at that moment. And so that's how I'm trying to look at this right now. Right now I'm in a season of knitting. So I'll be talking a lot about knitting on this YouTube channel. And don't worry, I'm still spinning, still doing everything else. For example, on my wheel back here, on my matchless, I finished up spinning the gradient yarn. Let me show you right here. It's all finished and resting on the bobbin, and I'm going to work on Navajo plying that after I've given it some time to just relax on the bobbin for a little bit. But anyway, so right now it's all about knitting for me. So I want to show you what I bought at the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival. And let's see, let me start here with these. I seemed to be purchasing a lot of fades or a lot of gradients. So these mostly I think will be doing shawls after I get through my sweaters. Maybe then I'll move on to knitting one shawl a month. Who knows? We'll see. But some of these yarns are so just yummy and delicious that I can't wait to get into them. So this group, isn't this pretty? This is from Cornbread and Honey, and let me see if I can. It is in it's fingering weight. It is merino and nylon, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and there's a little over 460 yards on each one. So I think this could make a beautiful, beautiful large shawl that you could just sort of wrap around yourself and be really cozy. Let me see if she's got the colorways written on here. This one is called Romance Isn't Dead. This one, the middle way, is called Dark and Moody. And then this one, the lighter one, is called Old Rose. So all really, really pretty. And they're gorgeous and soft, and I can't wait to dive into these. Then I also got this set from the Backyard Chicken, and it was so hard to decide, you all, what I wanted to get here because she had so many great colors. What she does is she dyes all of her yarns after the chickens that I guess she has. And this one is called, it's the hens, and it's called, oh, I'm going to butcher this, but it's called Favorol. Let me see if you can see that. That glare is on there. That's what this one is called. And I just think it's beautiful, soft. I love the color variations here. This one will probably be, I'm not sure, a cowl or something like that. It's a good sized skein. It's 460 yards. So this can also be a nice little shawlette maybe. You can see now that I'm doing sweaters, I'm moving on, thinking forward to having shawls on the brain. Okay, and then I also, this set I got with a pattern, so I already know what I'm doing with this one. This, aren't these pretty? This is from Rhapsody in Hue. They are Kentucky dyers, and it is so soft, and that's because it is 20% yak, 70% superwash merino, and 10% nylon. And it is 437 yards each. So again, it'll make up a nice shawl. She does not have, let's see, she does not have the colorway listed on here, but I think it'll go nicely together. Won't that be a beautiful autumn color to wear? And I already know what I'm going to knit with this because she was holding a special where if you bought two skeins, you bought a grouped skein like this and a pattern, you got this pattern with it. So this is the shawl I'll be knitting. It's called the Falston, and she had a sample of it. It was really pretty. So this is what I'll be knitting with those yarns, and with that yarn, I should say. And then, let's see, I'm gonna save this for last. Then I bought, you know how I feel about blue. This is just gorgeous, you all. Isn't this such a pretty fade, such a pretty combination? This is from a French yarn dyer, and I am not going to be able to pronounce it, but it's Tous les Matins yarns, and you can find them online at lesmartinyarns.com. So forgive my pronunciation. I know it's not good, but I just absolutely loved this colorway and this fade, and I'm not sure what I'm going to make with it yet, but it's going to be a shawl also, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think it will turn out to be something beautiful. And finally, from Apothecary, who you know I love, she is the one who dyed the roving and the bat that I shot videos of me spinning, and she has got the prettiest and softest colors, and this is the grouping that I got from her. Is this, let's hold it this way, this beautiful group. Isn't that pretty? I realized that I did a lot of these sort of burgundies and greens this time. I don't know, I was just drawn to that. I know I was deliberately trying to avoid a lot of blues and purples. Obviously I snuck one in, but I was trying to move away from that just because those are my favorite colors, and so I tend to have a lot of that already. But anyway, back to this yarn. I know what I'm going to knit with this. It is the Birds of a Feather shawl, and you can find that on Ravelry. If you just type in birds and feather, it's the first one that comes up. And let's see, this is using two skeins of merino and silk. So these two are both 70% merino, 30% silk, 436 yards each, and it's a high twist single, so these are singles. And then I'm going to pair it with this gorgeous, gorgeous mohair. Look at the halo on this. Can you see that? It's beautiful. And this is mohair and silk, 70% mohair, 30% silk, and it is 458 yards. So just absolutely gorgeous. I think this is going to make a beautiful, beautiful shawl. And again, I'm going to knit Birds of a Feather in that one. So that is all of the yarn that I bought at the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival. I also bought a yarn swift because the one I had, it's just not really working well. So I've got that to help me wind my hanks that I dye so that they're a little bit neater. And I have also been working on straightening up my craft room because one of my friends, Lindsay, hi Lindsay, she wants to see the craft room, and it is a giant mess right now, and I would be mortified to show you all. I can show you this little corner. You can see everything is just a mess right now, and that's because I had to break down my entire studio here, my craft room, and pack up all of my stuff because we had listed our house for sale. Well, the house, we thought we had an offer. The offer fell through, so we're still here. So I've been slowly unpacking all of my crafting stuff and bringing it back up, but it is just not in any order at all. So I am working on showing you that, on doing a craft room tour after I get everything the way I want it. There is still the possibility that we might be listing our house sometime in the near future. If so, then I'll be packing up the craft room again, because what I've done is just turn our dining room, which is in the very front room of our house, I've turned it, and I'm also spreading out into our living room a little bit as a fiber and book crafting kind of area, because we don't use these rooms, so I figured, well, why not put all of my stuff in here? So that's what I've done, and once I get it in a non-embarrassing situation, I promise I will show you all what it looks like. So anyway, that's it for everything I'm working on. I do have the Ravelry page up, and I've got a couple of threads started over there. What I'd like you to do, if you can, is hop on over to Ravelry. The group is just Stephanie Nipper, and if you just search that, it'll pop right up. And join the group, introduce yourself. I've got a thread for introductions. I've also got a thread to show what you're working on, what's on your needles, what's on your wheel. And today I'm going to be putting up a thread on Ravelry for the Tour de Fleece. That's in July, and it's just where you see how much you can spin during the Tour de France. So I'd love it if we could put a team together and just see how much spinning we could do during that time. I think it would be a lot of fun. I think it would be a community building type of thing, and I know I would enjoy having people to spin with, and I hope you all would too. So that'll be on Ravelry, so hop over there. And just let's start talking with each other there. If also, I'll start a thread for anything you would like to see here on the YouTube channel. If you think of anything that you'd like me to film, let me know. I will tell you coming up that I'm going to be doing some natural dyeing. It's something I've never done before. I've always worked with acid dyes, but at the Fleece and Fiber Festival, I got this wonderful natural dyeing kit from Fiber Culture. Isn't that nice? It's a little bit of hibiscus, and this is, let me see what that is, turmeric, safflower, and this is barberry. So I'll bring you along when I dye all of this, and they give you a little thing here for instructions. You can go to their website, and they have all kinds of dyeing kits there, but I'm really eager to get started on this. I just haven't had the time yet because it's from what I'm understanding, it's a little bit more time intensive than using the acid dyes, but I will be doing that. That will be coming up. I have this beautiful mohair fleece. I'm not sure if I'm going to save this for the Tour de Fleece or if I'm going to start on it now. I'm going to spin it just as it is. I'm not going to card this or anything because it is too pretty to get rid of all of these locks. Isn't that pretty? I just think it's beautiful. I got this from Namaste Farms. Very little vegetable matter, very easy to clean. So this might be one of the things that I am spinning during the Tour de Fleece. So anyway, I hope that you will hop on over to Ravelry and join me there. Thank you for watching. Remember, put your comments below and like and share these videos, because once we get to 1,000 followers, we're going to do a giveaway, okay? Thanks again for joining me, and I love you all. I'll look forward to talking to you here and in Ravelry.